through Rap Caviar, they sparked a very interesting debate. And the debate was, where is it? I think I'm going to find it. Here we go. This is the debate. The debate is that for the 2010s, I'm guessing for that decade. So let's think of it from 2010 to 2020, even though some might say it should either be 2011 to 2020, and some might say it's 2010 to 2019, if we really want to go for actually 10 years. But let's just say from the 2010s, we're doing it round and approximately, okay? Who are the four faces of the Mount Rushmore? Me and Carl had a conversation about this privately. Salute to my man Carl. Salute to everybody over at Spotify. Great people over there. The way this was made, and I'll try to give some context of what he told me. He said, listen, this was made to be who came of prominence during this time, not who was the most lit, right? And I think that only fit one person, which is Wayne, right? Because, Wayne has been lit within like 3 decades, and some might say you would put him in the 2000s decade and also the 2010s. So he's saying who pretty much had the coming of age moment within that time. Now, they had 3 faces filled out. One is Drake, second is Kendrick, the other is Cole. And I'm wondering, did they get it right? Did I get it right? I'm going to give you my opinion in a second, but I want to know what you would think the 4 people that for the 2010 to 2020 rap atmosphere, if the 4 people were going to be put on a Mount Rushmore for that time period, who would it be? Give me 4. Spam 4. Not 1. Spam 4. Because I don't want to assume that you're putting all 3 of these niggas on your list. So spam 4. Mods, you can do a poll. I see Towers. He says replace J. Cole with Sosa. Even if you do that, who's the 4th? Let me read some of what I'm seeing. Some people say Drake, Kendrick, Kanye, Future. Some people say Nicki, Drake, Kendrick, Future. Some people say Drake, Kendrick, Kanye, Future. Some people say Uzi, Thug, Kanye, Drake. By the way, salute to everyone who I'm reading your response. Somebody says Future should be the 4th. Nobody else is coming close. Somebody says, if y'all think Nicki should be the 4th, y'all tweaking because only females listen to her. Somebody says, well, if you're talking about a 4th, you got to put Future, Thug, or Travis. Interesting. Touchdown, I see you. Chat Queen says Nicki, Drake, Kendrick, Future. And I want to go to my DMs. Do I even have this DM still? I got to see if I still have it. There's a female, I won't call her a chat queen, but she was upset. And she let it be known. She got at me in the DMs. Did I not screenshot? I screenshot this with the purpose of playing it on here, if I could find it. I don't know if I can find it. Wow, how did I? Give me 1 second. Let me try to find this shit. I'm watching you guys keep spamming. It's fine. I should have opened her DM. That's the thing. Do I have it here? Instagram DM sucks so much. Okay. By the way, I see some people say Chris Brown should be on there. Okay. I'm gonna give you my full opinion in a second. Wow, now everybody wants. Now Instagram want to show all my DMs. Before it was just showing all the important ones. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find this shit. Don't you worry. Here I go. Wow. Did Instagram fix their DM shit? Because now I'm seeing every DM I got. And it's like 1,000 already in the last, like. Okay, give me 1 second. She had a voice note, so I wanted to play it. Because I can't articulate her point because I don't agree with it. Hold on. I'm about to find it. I'm about to find it. Hold on. That's not it. That's not it. Give me 1 second. Where is this young woman at? Yo, they got all my. Yo, Instagram usually cuts off DMs. But now we got all the fucking DMs. Hold on. By the way, I'm scrolling through my DMs. I ain't gonna lie to you. How many DMs do y'all think I get a day? And I do read them. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might not respond, but I do read them. Oh, I got it. Great. Hey, and to this queen, I'm gonna let me just accept your requests. Okay, so you'll be able to respond to me if you see this. This was her point of view. Y'all tell me if she's right. Listen.
Academics, tell me something. Why is our society so patriarchal? Because this whole post just screams sexism. Why is Nicki not on here? You want to tell me that someone that's been rapping since 2010 and has been on, she's been on a song with Drake, she's been on a song with Kanye, she's been on a song with Thug and Future. She still doesn't get any acknowledgement. The only female rapper that has been on a feature of the same men that you're praising, and she's been running the game since 2010. You can't even give her acknowledgement. Tell me how that's not sexist. But you guys don't want to put Nicki. Instead, you want to put J. Cole like he's been doing anything. What's that song he only has? I really did this before. No. Like, stop it. Like, it's actually so cringeworthy. Like, I'm internally cringing when I see posts like this. Because every picture that I've seen and someone's made a different edit, Nicki hasn't been on any of them. You guys are so sexist. Like, I hate you.
There was another one.
I hate you, academics.
What'd I do? I didn't make this shit up. Okay, so some people are saying, hey, to have this without Nicki, it is wrong. Now, I've seen a bunch of you guys' lists. I'm going to tell you what my list is. Gotta be 4 people. This is the Mount Rushmore. Let me preface my picks by saying this. My picks are not about if you have garnered a fan base. If you have garnered a fan base, you shouldn't be thinking about being on a Mount Rushmore. You should be thinking about being in the all-time record books because your fan base is really successful. When I think about people who be on a Mount Rushmore, let's think about even the Mount Rushmore that exists even now. It's about people who have did things, changed society, who have left an impact and a mark on the people that have been around them, the culture they have affected, and so forth and so on. Because of that, my criteria is not because you have a lit fan base. And I have to put that out here now. So let me first of all apologize to any J. Cole supporters. J. Cole is not on my top 4. He's not on my Mount Rushmore at all. I am evaluating impact on the culture, being able to change the sound of the culture, being able to inspire others to come. That is greatness that should be looked upon. That gets you on my Mount Rushmore. May not be yours. Okay? So not because you got a lit fan base and you sold a lot of tickets and you always get number ones means you are automatically on this list. I will tell you this as well. When thinking about Mount Rushmore, because I was thinking all throughout the 2010s, and some of these people I'm going to mention is going to be sacrilegious to a lot of you guys who are stuck in the past, because to me, I think they're more influential than some you might think. With all due respect, Nicki Minaj, let's start with her. And by the way, I'll explain and expound upon J. Cole after this. Nicki Minaj has one of the largest and best fan bases in hip-hop. I'm going to be very honest. Maybe when she raps these bars, which she's done many times in many different ways, these bitches are my sons. You just imagine that Nicki created female rap, but I look at Nicki as someone who was birthed from the tree of Lil' Kim. And even if you want to say Cardi was birthed from the tree of Nicki Minaj, which I don't know if I would say that because to me she's a social media baby, I don't see Nicki Minaj's impact to be as great as the people that I'm going to name. Now, does she has a larger fan base than most of the people I'm going to name? Yeah, of course. Nicki, congrats on having the barbs. They go hard for you. They love you. But I don't see what you impactful for the people I'm going to name doesn't mean it wasn't. I could only pick 4. And if I could pick 10, Nicki would definitely be in the 10. Just to let you know. So I'm not shunning her at all. I'm just saying for 4. If we talk about female rappers, how could I really talk about Nicki's impact when only maybe one rapper in the last 10 years has accomplished anything near what she's done? Which is Cardi. And are we going to say Cardi was just a product of Nicki? I don't know. So again, if I'm going off my criteria, which is cultural impact, relevance, influence, and also just all involved skill, doesn't mean only pen, doesn't mean only lyrics. It means being someone who is influential, who is talented, and everything else. This is a Mount Rushmore, not a greatest of all times list. I have to respond and say that again. I'm not giving a top 4 in terms of skill. I'm giving a top 4 that are influential, mixed with skill, but also people who their face needs to be on the Mount Rushmore because we've seen them influence the sound of music, the style of music, artists who then became successful. That's where I go. So Nicki, if I was doing top 4 fan bases over the last 10 years, you would be in it. If I was to do top 4 most successful artists in the last 10 years, you'd probably be in it. My Mount Rushmore, given my criteria, you are not in it. We could only do 4. J. Cole as well is not in mine. J. Cole to me is a bit like Nicki. J. Cole has a great fan base. They love him. I would say the barbers go harder than his fan base. I don't know even what the Cole fans are called. Most of them are just college people who just fuck with Cole. But I'm gonna be honest. Cole, to me, lacks the main things that need to be on my Mount Rushmore. Is he supremely talented? Yes. But remember, I said that's not only enough to be on my Mount Rushmore. Has J. Cole's music, as his style, has his impact influenced many to come within this genre and culture? I would say no, compared to the people that are on my list. So I see some people say, just give us the fucking list. And I will. My list starts off as this. Future. And by the way, when it comes, let me do it the other way. Drake. Kendrick, Kanye, and then the last spot would either solely go to Future or go to a combination of Future and Thug. If we can't share spots, just Future. I don't even have to look at the chat. Let me give some obvious examples of people you're probably like, what about him? Travis, great. I think Travis has done a great job of creating almost a cult for himself, creating a movement. I think those are great things. Creating a sound. But his sound is super unique to him. I can't say he's influenced the whole culture with his sound. So as great as he is, especially post 2014, he's now my Mount Rushmore. You might say, no way you said Future might share it with Thug. Thug over J. Cole? Yeah, J. Cole could never sell as much as Thug, could never sell as much as Nicki. But Thug's impact on rap culture in the 2010s is undeniable, if you ask me. It's undeniable. Without Thug, there's no Uzi, if you ask me. Without Thug, there's a lot of other rappers who came afterwards who were successful that won't be here. And I know some of y'all saying, well, if you're doing that, what about Chief Keef? This isn't a Soulja Boy debate of who came first. It's about who influenced more people and who was great enough. It would have been Chief Keef on my list if after around 2014, he didn't fizzle out musically. We didn't really hear much. So yeah, I can say young Chief Keef influenced the likes of Fetty Wap, Uzi, Bobby Shmurda, anybody after him, shit, whoever you want to say, but he was musically relevant after around 2015. I see Black Ace 192 say, okay, hold on, man. Who did Drake influence? More than who did he influence, let me showcase Drake's dominant influence of sound. Fuck who he influenced, because he's probably the hardest of anybody on this list to imitate. How many Young Thug sound-alikes have we had? How many Future sound-alikes have we had? How many people who have came in thinking they could be mad woke, thinking they're going to be the next Kendrick? I could name probably like few people who thought they could rap and sing like Drake with a clean record. Remember they were saying Kurt Cobain's at one point? Remember them for 2 seconds they said Chance? I don't think Drake has been copied. I think Drake has influenced the culture by dictating the sound. When Drake wanted to get on his island vibes, we were all, I need a one dance, coming to see in my hand. When that nigga wanted to get on his Jamaican shit, everybody's listening to Jamaican shit. When he want to get on this, I'm a UK Batman with the gun. Everybody's on that. When he want to sound like in Atlanta, everybody's on that. Now, you might call some of those riding ways, but he's still dictating what the majority and the mass of hip-hop is listened to, if you ask me. He's controlling the wave. I ain't say he started the wave. He's controlling the wave. I see some people say, Drake still sounds. I didn't say he started. I'm saying his influence is by controlling the wave, by being so dominant, making the best music despite where some original wave pop off. He goes there, and if he wants to make that shit be the new thing, all right, cool. All y'all niggas got to make dancehall songs. All y'all got to do it. Tiger went to Jamaica. Niggas was getting that DJ Mustard, like, could you add like a little steel drum in that shit? His dominance is unquestionable. His art, his pen, his talent is unquestionable. But the reason why he's on my Mount Rushmore is because if we start at the beginning of the decade, and this is his biggest influence to me, remember I said he ain't start nothing, he just furthered it and made it the cool. Drake was getting slammed for singing as much as he did. I always bring this up. When he dropped Take Care, people used to say, oh my, yo, niggas was looking at Drake like, yo, nigga, I was on Twitter, I'll crack some jokes too. Yo, this is elevator music. Yo, this is shake weight music. Remember shake weight? It's like, oh, you can do the shake weight and listen to Drake shit. This is Kleenex music. This is that soft shit. Fast forward in 2021. How many niggas like Mooskie's song, She's a Runner, She's a Track Star? I get it, that's R&B, but Drake was fusing it too. People like A Boogie, rapping straight about feelings. Do you understand what I mean? Drake made the wave of soft simp music, in your feels rap music, be popular. Add that to his dominance, him always being present, he's on the Mount Rushmore. I see some people say Wayne, and let me use Wayne. While I agree Wayne is the father of a lot of these niggas, if we were talking about 2000s to 2020, I would sub out Kendrick and I put Wayne. Could you not? I think Kanye's in it. If we do from 2000 to 2010, I think Kanye's still in it. I think it's Kanye, 50. I don't know if we put Jay, because Jay kind of stopped around like 2004, then he came out in 2006. But Kanye's definitely going to be in it in the 2000s. So 2000 and 2010, Kanye's in it in that decade too. That's why Kanye's so great. Kanye did a bunch of bullshit, and I think he was feeling himself. You know, he co-signed Trump. He talked a bunch of shit, like whatever. But we really be sleeping on Kanye. Without Kanye, there is no Drake. Without Kanye, is it fair to say there might not be Travis? So I'm telling you this, Kanye fits in two different decades. And people like Kanye and Wayne are weird as opposed to Drake and Kendrick, because Kanye's run, I believe he dropped Late Registration. College Dropout, right? It was College Dropout, Late Registration, and then Graduation. I believe College Dropout dropped like 2004? 2004, 2005. Wayne, when he came to the Carter 2, I believe dropped around 2005. I could be wrong. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head. The reason why they're awkward is because their reign or dominance started at the middle of a decade. So it continued into, they all did about like 10 years in total influence, but theirs started at the middle as opposed to Drake, which started 2009, 2010. Kendrick started 2011, 2012. You get what I mean? So with Wayne, his was in another decade, half of it, and the big half of it, because from 2005 to 2010, that's Wayne. Also, from 2005 to 2010, that's Kanye. But then you have to think about My Beautiful Dark. Like, for example, 808 and Heartbreaks. Without that, you don't get a Travis, you don't get a Kid Cudi. I would say. If we're going to talk about that, that was in 2008. But then My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy came in, which is the fusion of genres. All this multi-genre shit that we saw Drake do later, you got to give that credit on well, actually Yeezus. Do Yeezus for that. But also some of the really extra sonical work, which I think we've seen, I don't want to say maybe on Damn, by Kendrick, but we've seen like the production value and what that album was. I could see some influence slightly. Somebody say, yo, I'm not Beyonce. Say, yo, you're giving Kanye way too much credit. Why do we disrespect Kanye so much? Say whatever you want about the dude, bro. Now, bro, the nigga deserves all that. 2010 to 2020. But okay, let's go to Kendrick. I seen somebody mention Nicki. They said, oh, Nicki did more than Kendrick. Nigga, how? I'm gonna be honest, whether you call this pandering or whatever the fuck you might call this, all those social media movements, social initiatives, Black Lives Matter being a thing, black awareness, black pride, black culturalism, black capitalism. Whether you want to say the chicken came before the egg or the egg came before whatever you want to call it, Kendrick was the person who, as a soundtrack, he was there for all those. Appreciate maybe not the guy who wasn't who maybe not the guy who wasn't making all the dopest club bangers, but he was saying some shit and he was trying to uplift people and he was riding for some shit. He had a message. I think Kendrick held that down. His second album, To Pimp a Butterfly, and again, I'm considering Good Kid, Mad City the first. I see y'all Section 80 babies. To Pimp a Butterfly, that shit, while I thought it had no replay value, that was almost like a speech. It was like a ceremony. It was almost like a preamble to what came after. Social and political unrest and the divide among races. I thought Kendrick's music, Kendrick's influence helped usher that a long for that Kendrick versus Kanye catalog. Kanye's on my list. I told you. This is more of my list right here. Look. This is more of my list. No, except Cole isn't on it. I have Kendrick right here. So is Drake, Kendrick, Future, and Thug. And then right here we got Kendrick. Yo, Grand Wizard is trolling. He said, Nicki Minaj Anaconda video is influential. Maybe it is. For the hoes who started OnlyFans. That might be, maybe. The only influence that Nicki Minaj Anaconda video had was for hoes who wanted to start OnlyFans. Like, okay. Maybe I'm tripping on that. It's hard for me to take off Young Thug when I want to say everybody from Atlanta or the majority of the people from Atlanta sound like Future or some variation of Thug. And even if they're not from Atlanta. There could be a case for maybe some Florida niggas, but I don't think Florida had early 2010s impact. And I know y'all NBA YoungBoy babies is ready, but y'all gotta wait for the 2010s to 2020s. Like right now, YoungBoy is heavy for 2010s. No, 2020s plus. Because there's a lot of NBA YoungBoy clones, babies, drones, all type of shit running around. And YoungBoy's really successful, and he's like top of his class. I get it. But we talking from 2010 to 2020. Somebody says take off Future. All right, let's get to Future. Future is probably the artist that cannot be taken off at all. If we're talking about his peak, his coming of age, it was from around 2012, but it really got lit in 2014. And from 2014, I want to say to 2019, you couldn't tell me a motherfucking thing about Future Vandross. He not only led a sound of music, a style of music, a certain tempo, beats with music. He led an ideology among humans, among men. You can't take Future off. You cannot take Future off. Future became a legend from 2014, I might say 2013, but 2014 to 2018, 2019. Legend. I would probably even say his 5-year run in that span is better than all these niggas' 5-year run. Cole barely dropped music. He dropped music every like 2 years. Kanye, after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, didn't he give us Yeezus? Huh? Okay, you playing the music cool? Then you gave us Life of Pablo? Then you went gospel? You're a legend, though. I might sound nuts. And somebody just mentioned Watch the Throne for Kanye. Yes, that's another reason Kanye's on the list. Without Kanye, who was so lit at the time, he pulled for Jay, brought Jay up, and did Watch the Throne. We don't get a What a Time to Be Alive. And What a Time to Be Alive was very important for Future. My whole thing is that Future is supremely relevant. I actually want to believe, if you ask, and maybe I'm going too far with this, tell me if I am. I think some of the thinking, actions, thoughts, the narrative that came with Future's music. I just fucked a bitch in the Gucci flip-flops. All that toxic shit he was spitting, that people are like, oh, this is great. I almost want to say, and tell me if I'm tweaking, I think not to his music, but to the thinking that was associated from his music. I think the Me Too movement and all this like super woke shit is the direct response. Like if real toxic 2017, 2018 Future come out now, like Future's still toxic, but you gotta like disguise it a little bit. I really want to think all that shit. Like that nigga Future was just talking about women like they were objects. And niggas was like, oh yes, we love this. Then after a while they were like, hold up, man. This nigga's an abuser. They start labeling niggas who agree to Future. Oh, you're an abuser, womanizer, misogynist, you ain't shit, you are this, believe black women. I want to say that. I want to say that toxic mentality that came from co-signing this, just like, and by the way, I'm making loose associations, but I would say some of the toxicness and fuck toxicness, some of the violence that spurred from Chief Keef's movement probably went to other places in the country. And the reaction to those was, yo, we're either going to demonize young black kids or we're going to take extreme reactions to them. Because they made it popular to rap about people who were dead or people who were living and taking their lives like it was nothing. That's the drill movement effect. So now when that spreads across the country, people have to react to that thinking. Now, could you blame me? I got to be careful on this because that's how they blame me for like, oh, well, if you didn't do the war shot right, people wouldn't think it. Again, that wasn't the intended purpose of drill. That was the intended purpose of war in Iraq. But was that some of maybe the exaggerated responses to some of the actions that may have occurred after? Yeah, of course. It's like when 50 came out talking about like, yo, I got shot 9 times. I'm killing niggas here. I'm killing niggas there. Niggas were scared of 50 just cause. It's like when Jeezy came out talking about, yo, snowman this, snowman that. They banned the fucking snowman shirts. Because they thought like he was about to get all these young kids to move in weight. So I'm not blaming the artist, but I'm just saying impact does go into maybe on a loose level, the shit that you're talking about affecting society and society having to adjust to it. Let's be honest. Kevin Samuels ain't even saying nothing that Future wasn't saying like 4 years ago. Future was just doing over the beat. Shit was lit. And after that, they quieted that shit down. Now all these rappers rap about, yo, before Future's like, yo, I'm fucking a bitch, I'm giving her a plan B. Like, he violating them. You know what rappers rap about now? I'm taking my girl to the Louis store. She can get whatever she want. She could just slap me with a Louis purse. She could slap me with a Chanel bag. She's the best. I just praise her. Future wasn't rapping about that. Fuck him in. That was his motto. Toxic. Society made a shift. Whoa. Academics, you're calling a woman a bitch? Whoa. Whoa. Tell me if I'm wrong. Before it was songs like 10 bad bitches in a mansion. Now you gotta be like, yeah, I call you a bitch, but it's not offensive. You gotta, so much disclaimer. Anyway, Future can't come off this list. Nope. For the people who love J. Cole, tell me why J. Cole should be on the list. I can't take, you want me to give you the Young Thug? Why he can't come off the list? Young Thug is synonymous with this list, in my opinion, because Thug broke down the barriers and took the risks that from 2015 to 2020, the artists we had, we would have never had. You can't have a Juice WRLD without a Thug. You can't have a Uzi without a Thug. Any rapper who have painted their nails, you can't have without Young Thug. Any rappers who have, really took the line on fashion or straddled the line on fashion pause, or done some other stuff that is really risque, that definitely maybe they got like a little bit of criticism, but never the blowback as Thug. Thug took it that way. Thug took it stylistically. Also, I'm going to give Thug the credit And as much as, you know, he's not on this list, he would definitely be on the 2000s list. He, whether you want to admit it or not, Thug going at Wayne was almost like the younger dude finally saying, all right, I get he's like the big homie or the legend to y'all, but fuck that. This is our time. And there's always that. There's been that since the beginning of rap or anything you want to see. If you want to call it a media game, it's me going at like the big conglomerates. If you want to talk about in music, before then, it was Wayne going at Jay-Z on some low-key shit. Like, all right, cool, I get y'all love Jay, that's great. But right now, I'm the nigga. This the new wave. I'm giving Thug that. Thug challenged all that shit. And most niggas, they knew how talented he was. They knew he was lit. They knew he was that type of nigga. They shut the fuck up. I gotta have Thug. This is 2010 to 2020. I gotta have Thug on that. So I've given my justification for Drake, Kanye, Kendrick, Thug, and Future. Am I tripping? Again, if you're looking at the picture above me, on my list, J. Cole is not on it. Replace him with Kendrick, and we good. Somebody keeps saying Chief Keef. If Chief Keef had panned out, well, even then, because like Dirk just got lit like a year and a half ago, like really lit, right? I was gonna say if Dirk, if Keef had like a career like Dirk, because Dirk has never been this lit. But Keef went through label issues. Remember, he got dropped from Interscope. He went to this billionaire and shit happened. He had legal problems and whatever. He moved to LA. He went low. Like, if this was straight influence, this whole list would be different. If this was only influence and not skill and not talent, if it wasn't all a mixed bag, I wouldn't need to put Drake on this list because I would have Kanye. Then I would have Wayne. It would be Kanye, Wayne, and then we'd pick another two. If it was only influence. But if we're acknowledging their runs as well, which we are, which means you can't just be mad influential, like no disrespect to Soulja Boy. Cool, you did a lot of shit first, but you didn't do a lot of shit the best. You weren't the best at it. Everything you did, then somebody else came and surpassed. Do you understand what I mean? If it was just only for influence, we would look at people who started waves. And despite if they were the most successful at it, we would give them the credit only. But we're trying to factor in everything, okay? Blazing Chula was good. You say you want to talk? You don't want to talk. Stop it. What's going on in Discord? Did Chat Queen pop in here? Let me see. Chat Queen. Where you at? She not in here. She's not in here. Let me see. Yeah, Chat Queen, if you are in the Discord, and by the way, I think you could do !Discord in the chat if you want to get in the Discord.